Nikola claws back $165 million from disgraced founder Trevor Meltdown Milton, who, in his own words, can run circles around PhDs and out Elon Musk. Turns out he out Elizabeth Holmes. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts, Trevor. Nikola's disgraced founder, Trevor Meltdown Milton, is being forced to pay $165 million and interest back to the hydrogen and electric semi-truck maker after he made many fraudulent claims that triggered a costly investigation and fine by the Securities and Exchange Commission. The determination, which took a bloody long time, was made by an arbitration panel in New York on October 20th, Phoenix-based Nikola said in a filing on Tuesday. Quote, the company had sought reimbursement from its founder and former executive chairman for costs and damages arising from actions that were the subject of government and regulatory investigations, including the December 2021 Securities and Exchange Commission settlement and associated civil penalty, Nikola said in the filing. Quote, the company intends to file with the arbitration panel an application to recover attorney's fees related to the matter. The move comes as Milton, who got fired, left Nikola in 2020, awaits sentencing on his conviction for securities and wire fraud in a federal court in Manhattan clearly they've got the date wrong there. It's already October 2023. Apparently, sentencing has been delayed until November 28th, 2023, just over 1 month from now. Make sure you got your popcorn ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be good. And I will most certainly be covering this debacle. The entrepreneur was accused of making exaggerated and fraudulent claims about the company's technology prior to and after Nikola's public listing, highlighted in a scathing report by short seller Hindenburg Research in September 20. And a lot of people with brains much earlier than then, especially on YouTube. Shout out to myself and many others. It was so obvious, bro. And when I say obvious, I mean obvious. Not only was this guy showing incredible signs of delusion and narcissism, sociopathy, but he was making claims that ran counter to reality about energy density of batteries. It just wasn't possible. Nikola had false claims on their website about range on vehicles. And if you think, hang on a minute, how big is this vehicle? How could they possibly have batteries without energy? It doesn't make sense. They're defying the laws of physics, fake news, lying. Not only that, but this moron, great example of Dunning-Kruger effect, probably has an IQ of 105 or maybe 85, or it's hard to tell, thinks it's 200, makes outrageous claims, and tells people in podcasts. A great example was Jason Calacanis, who just let him paint himself into a corner on his podcast. Just let him talk, ask questions, just let the guy talk. Explaining his strategy was essentially to create the Nikola Badger, which at the time I said was a fake truck, wouldn't be made. It was a stock pump to luring dumbasses. Literally said this was to touch the retail investor, explaining his strategy of luring morons in. Low IQ, quote, investors, just being honest here, okay? If you have a below average brain, you see a guy like this making outrageous claims, I believe him, I trust this guy. Next minute, you buy their stock. So he was explaining his strategy of luring in morons. At the same time, he was dumping stock. He buys the biggest, as in the most expensive ever home sold in Utah. By the way, instead of paying cash, he actually paid with Nikola's stock. What a joke. The guy buys a couple of private islands, a private plane, some jet skis, a bunch of toys before the company's made a profit while he's out in the media making false claims that are obviously false. Then there's this obvious scam of a partnership with GM where Nikola's paying GM, giving GM equity. GM's providing all the technology despite Nikola claiming that they have amazing tech. Made no sense at the time. You did it, Mary, you moron. There was so many red flags out here. So it wasn't just that Hindenburg Research exposed this. Just about every word that came out of this guy's mouth in the media was incriminating. Obviously so. It's just unbelievable. And here's the thing. The guy had no idea how dumb he is. Like I said, he probably assumed his IQ was like 4 standard deviations above where it was, and was a raging narcissist and a sociopath, if not a psychopath, and just had no idea. He was literally barbecuing himself, self-immolating every time he opened his mouth everywhere. It's like, bro, this is going to end poorly. There was a reason I made 30 plus videos on this company. It was so obvious. So I just wanted to put that out there. The catalyst for an investigation probably was the Hindenburg Research report. But prior to then, people were calling this obvious fraud of a company out. Obvious. Now, they do have real technology eventually, although cobbling together other people's stuff. But the statements made by their then founder and CEO, Trevor Meltdown Milton, were obviously bullshit, obviously fraudulent, obviously misleading, and obviously an attempt to lure in dumbass investors to pump their stock price so that Trevor Milton could dump the stock, buy a bunch of toys. He has a history of this kind of thing, which was exposed in detail by Hindenburg Research. Not his first rodeo, just his biggest. In addition to Milton's conviction, the SEC investigation also led to a $125 million fine Nikola agreed to pay in late 2021. It has been seeking to recoup money and stock from Milton, previously its largest shareholder, for the past 2 years. Though the company's market cap was decimated due to the Milton-related scandal, it managed to begin building and selling battery-powered semi-trucks last year and started shipping hydrogen fuel cell-powered tray trucks last month in extremely small volumes, for the record. Some more detail here on freight waves. Milton founded Nikola in 2014 to make fuel cell commercial trucks. It went public via Vecto IQ, a special purpose acquisition company, aka SPAC, during the SPAC mania in June 2020. Milton frequently posted about the company's achievements. What achievements? On social media and in business publications. At one point, a direct result of the intelligence bell curve being real, at one point shares traded above $90 before beginning a long descent. At one point, Milton was listed among the Forbes 400 with a net worth estimated at $3.5 billion, based on his then 26% ownership stake of the company's stock. He has sold tens of millions in shares since a lockup expired in December 2021. So let's do the math. Entitled billionaire Trevor Meltdown Milton has sold nearly $300 million worth of stock, Nikola stock, since criminal fraud charges. Not prior. This was just after the charges of criminal fraud. Trevor Milton, the embattled former chairman of Nikola Motor, has offloaded a massive stake of the electric truck maker he founded nearly 7 years ago in recent months, selling $131 million in stock over the past week and nearly $300 million in stock since he pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of criminal fraud charges this summer. So this isn't including any sales prior to the charges. If anyone wants to go do some digging, I can't be bothered. I'd love to know exactly how much stock this guy sold in total, but here's the point. Here's the kicker. Let's just call $300 million of stock sales. Forget all the stuff prior to that. Just say it was only $300 million. Nikola's clawing back $165 million. Now, obviously, there's going to be some taxes in there, but this sets a very bad example. Be a con man, a snake oil salesman, a fraudster, literally lie, have a plan to lure in dumbasses, to pump your stock, dump the stock while the stock's going to the moon, make ridiculous claims, leverage the fact there are a lot of dumbasses out there, sell hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars of stock, huge red flag, and then eventually get fined significantly less than you netted after your stock sales following your fraudulent statements. What kind of a lesson or example does this set? This guy should forever be indebted to shareholders. And here's the thing. Nikola, in essence, the company, are clawing this money back from Trevor because of legal fees and a fine they had to pay. This has nothing to do with the retail investors who lost their life savings, and oh boy, were there many. Again, I don't want to make light of this, but there are people who aren't super intelligent. They see a guy like this, they believe his bullshit, and they dump their life savings, which may or may not be a huge amount, but to them, relatively speaking, it's everything into this company because he's claiming it's going to the moon. Get in now, it'll do what Tesla did, that kind of shit. And they lose everything. What happens to them? Because I read a lot of comments about these folks. People getting very mad in the comments, and eventually people go, oh, you're right, bro. I lost a lot of money. The stock's going down. Oh, shit. My life savings are gone. That's why I was so aggressive, obnoxious, and rude when describing Nikola investors as morons, because I wanted people to get so triggered by my obnoxiousness that they tried to prove me wrong and prove I'm not an idiot. I know what I'm doing. This guy's not lying. Let me prove it. This guy on YouTube. And then they would learn that they were in fact a moron. They had in fact done something financially moronic, and well, they might want to reverse that decision. We're currently looking at the Nikola stock chart. Since his all-time high, seriously, you ever want to see a manifestation of the bell curve? It's right fucking here. The stock today, $1. Peak price, $65.90. That was peak closing price. It got a little bit higher intraday. From peak closing price to today, down 98.48%. Now, I want to put that in context for you guys and girls to just show what an absolute catastrophe this has been. Now, I'm going to pick a few random numbers here. Just imagine you'd invested, let's say, use a round number, $100,000 at $13.74, at $25.66, at $65.90, at $45.96, $41.35, $27.93, and let's say $18.10. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to AI. Initial investment, $100,000, 7 different scenarios. Share price at the time of investment from the absolute peak closing price at $65.90 to a reasonable price at $13.74. Reasonable relative to $65.90, that is. You can see how many shares each of these folks owned and their total loss as it stands today with Nikola stock at $1 per share. Now, you might be surprised at the way math works. Let me know in the comments below if these feel intuitive. Invest $100,000 at $65.90. Your total loss, $98,482.88. Holy crap. Scenario 2. You invest at $45.96, basically $20 a share cheaper. You end up with significantly less stock. Guess what? Your loss, $97,825. Now, you might be thinking, come on, bro, the math must be wrong here, right? For what it's worth, math's pretty easy here. You just deduct the number of shares owned from 100,000 because they're currently $1 per share. If you bought at $41.35, your loss is still over $97,000. If you bought at $27.93, your loss is over $96,000. If you bought the shares at $25.66, your loss is still over $96,000. If you bought at $18.10, your loss is just over $94,000. And if you picked up a bargain at $13.74, don't worry, it'll rebound. They're the next Tesla. I heard it from Trevor himself. Your loss is still well in excess of $90,000. There are a lot of folks out there who were conned by this moron who lost these kind of numbers. Now, maybe they invested $10,000. Maybe it's 100. Maybe it's 50. Maybe it's $1 million. I don't know. But the point is, this was never going to end well. It was obvious that this guy was making fraudulent and misleading statements. I didn't make 30 plus videos for nothing. I was trying to warn people from these kind of losses. The people who can least afford to lose this kind of money are the folks who lost it all. So the real question, what's going to happen at Trevor's trial? Will he end up in prison for the rest of his life? For a few years? Will he somehow get a plea deal? Who knows what goes on? I have a lot less faith in the justice system, at least in the United States, than I used to. P.S. If anyone remembers, I never did go clean that beach, Trevor. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts, my friend. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, This is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Nikola someone's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon. And don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.